everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I appreciate your time that you spent with me. This is what I'm going to use. It is a project, it's a big project that I am going to take you on a journey. We've been away for quite a while and we went to South Africa. I haven't seen my family in about 22 years. And it was a very special journey. We had absolutely the most wonderful time in South Africa. They treat us like king and queens. And we took a lot of photos. I mean, over 4,000 photos. And yes, that is a lot. Because I don't know when I'm going to have the opportunity to go back to South Africa. But I'm going to put most of those memories in a book. And it is a big one, really a big one. Now, this is the paper pack I am going to use. Firstly, let me show you. This is the black. This is the cardstock that I like to use for my pages. I'm telling you why I use this one. It is from Craft. It is very cheap. It folds beautiful. It's really not cracking, nothing, but it's very steady. Your pages, the corners of your pages, the points, they don't bend. If you're very careful, you don't bend nothing. And this is stability to your pages. I used a 65-pound. And I was very disappointed after 2 years when I opened this book and I thought, oh, what happened? It's not good. That is my opinion. But this one, haven't had no problems. And you do get the 300 gram. I use that for my cards, the base of the cards. This is, I don't wrap my albums with this. I wrap my albums with a 65-pound black cardstock. I think that's not cardstock, that's paper from Recorrection. So I am going to use the cream cardstock, also from Craft. It's the ivory. And it works very well with these two paper packs because I don't know if I'm going to have enough paper. So that is my cream or my ivory cardstock. This is Woodlands France. This is the 8x8 double-sided paper. Now, this goes, the colors and everything goes very well with this paper pack. Let me show you what is in this paper pack. Now, this is 3 pages that you do get of one design. And that's on the opposite. And that's on that side. And over there. This is very pretty. And on the other side. And then you do have the checks. That's very nice. The flowers. On that side. And yeah, we saw quite a lot. That's so cute. And on the other side. And this is the last, and that's on that side. Let me turn this over. You can see. Very good. Very nice. So that is that one. You do get your 2 sticker sheets. They're different. And this is the paper pack. Now, I do have another one. So I hope it is going to be enough. And you do get your designs on that side. So in this one, you do get 2 pages of each design. I like this. This is, you can do so much with it. And on that side, elephants. Yes, we saw quite a lot of elephants and they were like in your face. But we were ready. If they stormed, we were ready to go. And on that side, the opposite side. And this is so beautiful. Absolutely love this one. And that's that side. Zebras, we did saw a lot of zebras and giraffes. You know that when a giraffe walks is so elegant. It looks like he's floating with that long, big body. Yes, it looks like he's just floating on earth. And that's on the other side. Okay, so this is the paper packs that I'm going to work with. I'm going to put that away and let me show you the album. I started already because it's going to be a lot of to do with this album. So yes, you can see it is a big. This is 11 by 8.5. Sorry, 8.5. Let me make sure. All of a sudden it looks. That's 11. Yes, 11 inches by 8.5 inches. And I do have the spine. Now the spine is 3 inches by 8.5. And I cover it. It looks like ostrich skin, ostrich leather. I think it is very nice with this theme. The way I've done this album, put it together, I will link a tutorial where I use this design. Really easy, and this is one of my favorites to do. You can put it together like in 10 minutes. That's how easy it is to do this album. And like I said, I've started already. So I do have pocket pages, and I did cut in. Okay, now this is what's going to be a problem to get it in frame. I cut pocket pages, and I cut it in so that you can grab whatever you put inside. What I've done with these pocket pages, I did not let it go to the end here. It is very big. So what I've done is I've measured 6 inches and I glue. I use just liquid glue and I glue that whole piece together. So then when you put this in, it's not that big. Goes up to about here, 6 inches. I think 6 inches it's quite a lot. And let me put this back here. Like I said, I've started already because this is going to be a lot. let me show you what I've done. I do have my notes here. If you want to write or check it out, that is the chipboard pieces. And then this is page 1. Is this side over here. So what I've done is, I like this a lot, and I don't want to put photos on it. I want to showcase it. And I've cut exactly black cardstock and mounted that one on to the black cardstock, and I use it as a flap. And I did it with these two as well, so they are like that. I can put photos over there, photos here, photos and photos. And I've got a closure. It's a magnet closure so that I can keep it down, because I think it will flap open. Now I haven't put the magnets on here because I need to put some decorative paper there, and it will be probably some of an offcut that I will do that. So this is what the first page is, and my pages that I've used in the album, it is 10 pages, and they measure 10 1/4 by 8 1/4, and I score it at 1/2 inch. That is on the 10 side. And then to put the two pages together, I use a 1/2 inch, no, sorry, an inch piece of paper. Let me show you. So I just grabbed a piece of paper. So it is an inch wide, and you can make it as long as what your paper is, and that will be 10 1/4. Is that right? That way, 10 1/4. Before I lie, let's check. Yes, that's right. It is. It just sounds a lot. So on the lens, then you fold it, and you put your one side of paper here and your other side of paper there, and you put them together, and that's when you get your pocket page. Okay. I will link the videos where I've done that in the past. If you are new to the video, to this tutorial, I will link it for you, and then you can see what I mean. So that is our first page, and then we come to the second one. Now, the second one is really very easy. That's the measurements. You need 2 pages, 2 foldouts, 5 3/8 by 8 1/4. So 8 1/4, I use the whole length of the page, and this is 5 3/8, and then score 1/2 inch, and I score 1/2 inch. And I did this one first, so I make sure I'm a little bit away from here. I'm a little bit away from there, and I glue that one on, and then I did this one on the side. This is why I do have this, because my camera and black don't like each other. Okay, I'm just going to put that in there. So this is it. This is a very easy page here, but I need it for a lot of photos. I do have this one. I've cut it, and this is again, I don't want to cover it with photos. So what I decided, if I can put a photo up here and a photo there, I'll cut this in half. I use the one on one side, the one on this side, and I can have this to put a photo and this other side to put a photo. Let me put this together and I'll show you what I mean. And now I do have this left from that page, and it is more than enough for both sides. And I'm just going to cut it in half. So, cut it in half, and then on both strips I can put it. I'll do that. I'll have this left, and I'll put it in my stash so I can, if I need another piece, I can look for it there. Let me put this down. Okay, my first 2 pages are done, and happy with it. I can do a lot of photos. If this is going to be a problem, if I put the photos on, I can always go to my Velcro dots and see if I can put it on to keep this close. And I do have my booklet in there. So these 2 pages are done. We're going to go to the next one. For the next page, this is the pattern paper I'm going to use. That's on the opposite side, and that's that side. I might not use both of them, but they are going to go together. Just put them aside there. So over here, and I do have a magnet closure, 2 by 2.5, and I've just scored it at 1/2 inch. And then I went 1 notch on. It's a 1/8 of an inch on, and I did another score line. You can see there I've got 2 score lines for the closure. Just want to put this aside because my table is a little bit small here. Then let's start at the middle page. So this is going to be nice big photos. Then I do have this fold out here that measures 8 1/4 by 5 7/8. So 8 1/4 that side, and I score 1/2 inch, and that's 5 7/8 in the width. I add another flap onto this. It's 7 by 6. So the 7 side I score at 1/2 inch, and I just add it onto the back here. And that is the fold out for that. Then I just pick a spot, and I've put the flaps on. Because these pages are so big, what I did is I decided that I will have a little bit showing here at the bottom, and there's more showing here, a little bit showing there at the top, and then there's more showing here. And that's where I place this fold out. This one, measure 8¼ by 6. And this fold out is 5 3/8 by 6¼ 8¼ I score 1/2 inch, and I put that down, and then this flap here on the back, that's where I've put that one. Just score it in half. Then I've got my magnet there ready, magnet on here, and that will close everything. Hopefully it will close everything down. I'm not 100% sure about that one, so I will, when I put photos on, I will double check it. If I have to replace it or put something else on, I can do that. That's not a problem. So that is this page. Before we carry on to this one, I am going to put my paper on here and see how that's going to look. And let me finish that and I'll show you. Let me show you what I've done. And it came out very nice. I've put a sticker on here, on the magnet. I left that black. I put the monkeys on here. And I had these two pieces left and that. So I've put it on. This one, fold, that's just stay black. I got the that's the back side of the monkeys. That stays black. And here I've done this, and I've just got a sticker there because I don't really meet in the middle, just to cover up my mistake. That's what I've done there. And I've got this left, and that is left. I can use this. I will leave it in here because I want to see what other offcuts I can use with this one here. And then I can cover that black. And that's all that I've got left. It's going into the stash. I don't throw anything away until I'm done with the album. That is this page. I'm going to go on to the next one, and I'm going to grab all the pattern papers and everything together, and I can show you what I'm doing with this one. The next page that I'm going to work on, it is a closure, and it's got a magnet closure. And let's get into here. So this flap on this side, it's 8 by 8. I score it in half, and I stay a little bit away from my notch there, and I place that down. And this space here to the next flap, it's 3½. And this flap measures 6½ by 8¼ 6½, I score at 1/2 inch. I score 1/2 inch and I place it 3.5 from my flap here, from my score line. 3.5, and I place it there and I glue it down. So this piece here is 6 inches. So I can place nice big photos here. Then let's leave it like that. This fold out here. This fold out, it is 7.75 by 5.25, and I score at 1/2 inch, and I've got 2.5 inch, and I glue that like sort of in the middle of my page. I place that there with the flap, and I've done this one here as well. So it is a nice big fold out. On the front of this fold out, I do have a pocket. I've just created a nice big pocket. So my pocket is 8 inches by 3. And I score 3 sides. 1, 2, 3 sides. I score at 1/2 inch. And I glue that down. Place my magnet. And that's my closure. I'm going to put some paper on here. Sorry, this I did score 1/2 inch, and I scored 1/8 of an inch for the closure. Because when you put your photos in here, it's going to lift it up. I'm going to put my pattern paper on here, and I'll show you when I'm done. I do have this page finished, and let me show you what I've done. I've got a few scraps there. It's getting more and more now. Closure, I just use a sticker label on it. I'm going to leave this black until I can find something that I really like to put on the back of the closure. My pocket, and that is here. It's a nice size pocket. And on this side, I left that black, and I left the other one black as well. If I do get some nice offcuts, I'll use it. This one, I just left it plain for a nice big photo. In the middle, this is going to be okay. In the middle, I've done, this is 3 by 3, 3.5 by 3.5, and I just divided up with a strip and a strip down, and I put on this side, I put the rabbits, and I left that plain, and I put that on the middle there. I fussy cut a little rabbit, and I put it down on the middle there, just to break it up. It's very plain. And yes, this is this page, half finished, but I'm okay with this. And we're going on to the next page. So on this one, I do have a big pocket and 2 fold outs. This is a nice big pocket. Let me give you the measurements that I use on this page. So this page, let me tell you, it's 5.5 by 5.5, and it's 2 of them. So I've placed the one that it's even with the notch there, and the next one I've put it that I've got a little bit of a gap here where my fold line is, and I put that one down and pocket. Very easy page. The pocket is 11.5. I score half an inch, and the width is 3, and I score 3.5, and I score half an inch so that it is 3 in the width. And it will hold whatever you want to put in here. It will hold it. And that is the closure for those. I'm going to do my pattern paper on this, and then I will show you. And I think because this is such an easy page, let's go on to this one, and then I can work with both of them together. And the measurements for these are, so this is a pocket. The pocket measures 9 in the length, score half an inch on the one edge, half an inch on the other one. The width is 5.5. I score it 5 I scored a half an inch. So this is half an inch flat, half an inch, and I placed it down. On top of this one, I do have 5 in the width and 8. Score half an inch, and I placed it on top of the pocket. There it is. I need to, okay, so I placed it on top of the pocket. Then I fold it down. On top of this one, I've placed another one, and that measures 5 by 7. Scored half an inch on the 7th side and placed it on top. So you've got 2 fold outs on top of your pocket. This is a big pocket, and it's a lot that can go in there. I might do something else on this page. I'll tell you when I'm done with it. I'm going to get my pattern papers for both of these pages, and then I'll come back and I'll show you. This in here, it's for the next page. I've got it all ready, and I don't want to lose it and get it mixed up, so I just put it in the pocket. And let me finish this up. I can come back and show you. Let me show you what I've done with all the pages and the pattern paper that I picked for this page. We are on page, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The flowers, I left the back plain black. I will come back to it. I've just mounted that on there. I think the blue is very pretty. This was from the post stamps sheet. Let me see if I can find it. It's like this sheet. And I just picked the ones that I think, it's going to work here, because this is not very wide. It's just 3 inches wide. And place that there. And this is a photo mat. Now, it is 5.5 by 6.5. This was off cuts, and I just cut it on an angle, and you can still put photos in here. I did not glue it up And let me see. This is all my scraps. And you can still put your photo in there, in the corner and in this corner. And then that is going to close up. Then on this side, what I've done is magnets. So the top page, that was leftover, and that was a leftover, and I've just put that onto this page. This one I did cut out, and I put some magnets on. The black at the back I'll come back to it. And that one there, this one, that piece was left, and I wanted to use it. And so I've just put this cream card or ivory cardstock here. This is still exposed. I'm not worried about it. It doesn't bother me at all. At the end, I will come back and revisit my book probably a few times and see where I can improve and if I can cover this. If there's anything left, I can do that. So this is on the pocket. The pocket, I've put the cream cardstock, ivory cardstock. That was just offcuts, and I've just put it on there. And this is a booklet. And I used the same that I've used on the back there. And that goes in. Now, see, I don't push it in all the way. I like that to show. So this is it for these 2 pages. And, yep, this one over here. It's going to be a little bit tricky. I just need to sort this out. What's that one? This one. And that is that page. Okay. So what I've done here, this one is 5.5 by 8.25, and I score it 1/2 inch, and that's going to go onto the side. I do have 2 of these ones. Did I measure it? I did not. Let me measure it quickly. And it's 6. That's the 6 by 4. So 6 by 4, and they are going to come on here. So I've got space for 2 6 by 4 photos. That's on there. And then we do have this one. Now, this is going to come onto this side like that. And this is going to be the bottom one, 8.25 by 6, and I scored at 1/2 inch. I've put this one on top of that, and that measures 6 by 6.5. Score at 1/2 inch. These 2 little ones, that one is 4.5 by 5. Score 1/2 inch and glue it onto the side. And this one is 3 3/4 by 5. 1/2 inch score and glue it on there. Now over here, I still need to decide with what I'm going to use for a closure, because this is going to going to open. Now, when I glue this, I measure and glue this all on. I did it to my left-hand side. This should be this way. Going to be down like this, and that's going to open like that. This is what the idea was, and that is going to be onto this side. I might change it. Let's change it this way. That way, yeah, because I like this to go up. Yep. Let's do it this way. And then for the closure, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to use. It's gonna need. I will work it out and I will show you what I've done with that. This one, this page here, this one, 3 by 8 and 1/8. You can just do an 8 if you follow me. 8 inches will be fine. This one is 7.5 by 7.5. And it's going to come at, now I'm going to decide, it depends on what paper I will use, the pattern paper on top or at the bottom, or like that. That's what the idea is for that one. And this one, 6.5 by 8.25. And then 6.5 by 5 7/8, score at 1/2 inch, and I glue it on. This one is 5 by 5, 8 by 6, 1/2 inch, and I glue that on. Now this is going to come over here, and it's going to come out like that. And it's going to fold this way, so you can see the bottom part, the bottom of this. Right, let me get the papers together for this, and we can see what it will look like when I've got the pattern papers on it. It's easy, it's straightforward, but there's a lot of cutting involved, especially on this side. And this closures for this as well. I will work on that, and I'll see you in a bit. And this page is done. It's very busy, but and it is a lot of fold outs. Let me show you. I still need to do a magnet. Let me show you what I've done onto this page. This I've just left as for big photos. On this is no space on my desk. This side, that was a fold out. So this one, this flap was very small, and I decided it's too small. I don't like it. I am going to make it a little bit bigger, and I did. I made it much more bigger or wider, and that was 5.5 that I did. And I've just put a pocket on because I had that piece left, and I thought I will just make a pocket. This piece is nice and big, and I've just put a mat in there. It can be anything. There can be photos here, and I put it onto this side. I might put some paper here for journaling, and I don't know if I will cover this with a photo. I might still think about that. When I come to my photos, I'll see what I can do. That's why I left this just as is. And on this side, I've got that fold out, that one goes up, and I've put the paper on there, and it comes back, and it goes this way. And I've just put paper on it. Then that folds over. No, this one first, that, and I will get my big magnets out to see for the closure. On this side, similar concept than what I've done here, but it's just one solid for very nice big photos. And I put that piece in there, so I split the two, so for different photos, size photos. This side, it's open up like that. This one comes, I'm going to close that one so I can show you what I've done with this side. That was just from all the offcuts, and that I've just leave it like that for really nice photos. And now it's the other way, and then it folds out like that. And that is all the elephants. So that is those 2 pages. That's going to come over like that. And now we're on to the next pages. On here, I am going to make a pocket. So the idea behind that is, I want to show you how I do my pockets. I add this on, it's a it's a 1 inch, score it 1/2 inch, and that will be for the pocket. You can glue it down, but if you do that, you don't really get a lot in the pocket. If I do it this way, I really get quite a lot in the pocket. I cut this shorter, and you can see, let me grab a small piece here. You can see the black on black. You can see I've cut it. It's 1/2 inch shorter. So this one is 5.5 inches wide by 9 inches. And then you score 1/2 inch. Then you don't need to put these ones on. This one is 6 by 8 with the flap at the bottom of the pattern paper. I do have 4 of these ones. This is my waterfall. They measure 4 by 5.5. And I just glue it in like that. There can still go a photo on there. And that. Because I did the waterfall, I just decided to make a pocket on this side. And in the pocket is going to be a card that's going to close that down. I hope it will work. Otherwise, I'll have to do something else and see if I can manage to do that with a closure. That is the idea why I want the pocket. The other side, okay, this piece measures 11 inches in the length by 8. I score it half an inch. I score it at 7, and that's going to be a pocket as well. And it's going down like that. On this one, I had these 2 pieces left, and I thought I need to use it. And it measures 7 by 6.5. And this one is 5 by 8. So, okay, I will put this down like that. And then I do have these that I can cut out, and I can put them down there. We'll see how it looks, how it's going to turn out. But this one is a very easy page as well. And I will see how I'm going to, yeah, that is probably, that can be, I'll see how this is going to work. That might be better. We'll see how the layout will work out on this page. So now I'm going to take you to the last 2 pages as well. And then I will put all the pattern paper on, and then that will be just the front and the back of the album. I do have, that one is a 6.5 by 8. This is 5 by 8, and this is 4.5 by 6.5. And do these 2, oh, I didn't measure it. I will measure for you. Where is my ruler? Okay. And this one measures 5 inches by 8, I think. Yes, by 8. And this one is 5 that way. And this way it is 7.5. And they're going to be on the bottom here. And that is how they're going to do. This is going to be onto this page. Quite a busy page here as well. But that's all right. This on this side is going to be an easy one. I'll better put it back in here until I get to it. Over here, very easy page as well. And this measures 10.5 by 6.5. So 10.5 is this way. And half an inch to make a pocket. 6.5, half an inch score at the bottom to make a pocket. Then this fold out. This fold out, it is 11 inches, and I think it is 8.25. And I score half an inch, and then from the half an inch to 6 inches to do another score, and that's going to be a fold out. And this little flap here, it is 6.5, this way, 1/2 inch there for the flap, and this is 4 3/4, 4 3/4, 4 1/8. Phew, 4 1/8. You can just make it 4. That's fine. This was just an offcut as well. At the 6, I've just scored 1/2 inch and I put it on top of this fold out. This fold out, I've put it underneath here where my pocket, for my pocket. I like doing this. I will tell you why. It's secured. So when you put stuff in there, it is nice and thick, and you can, you won't damage your page, or your paper, I should say paper. So that's why I like doing that, and it's get even it looks nice when you fold it out like that. Okay, so this is going to be onto the last page. Let me do all the pattern paper on all these pages, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how they look. And this page is finished. Let me show you what I've done with the pattern paper. This was the pocket, and I've got this inside the pocket. Just used all the offcuts I can. There was quite a lot of offcuts, and I've just used them all. This is Velcro dots. I've got the closure for Velcro dots, and on this side I also do have Velcro dots. Now I do like my Velcro dots. I did not put anything on the back of these fold outs. My little waterfall, I just left it all plain black. And that is that. So that's that page. Very easy, but a lot of photos can go onto that page. I have to pick the book up so I can move it. On this side, what I've done is, let me just grab this. Over here, I can still put my photos. This was from the cutouts, and I've just put it on black cardstock, and I made a nice duck spot for a photo. I did glue it on that side, and this is all air open, and you can put photos, or you can hide here, put small photos. You don't have to glue it on here, because you can just tuck it in there and you can remove it if you want to use it on another place. And that folds out, and that is all just offcuts that I used. There was quite a lot of offcuts, let me tell you that. On this side, there is this card that just fits in nicely there. That was also offcuts, and I had to use that. And then I just mounted all this all around it. And that is a pocket. And then that folds out. I was that little bit too short, and I've just used the green. Hi. I did all the mounting for the pages, the pockets, for all the pockets. the next page, the second last one. This is a big one, and this is just a pocket that holds everything close. That's actually hold it close, and that fits just nicely in the pocket. And on here on the back, I did all the, it's like stamps, and I cut them all out, and I put them here together. On this side, that goes open. I left it all black on that side. That goes open. I left it all black. And the big one, I also left it all black. And that's how it folds out. And that one closes that way. And this is the last, the big pocket. I do have magnets on this one. And that folds out, and this folds out, and that's all just off cuts. That goes over like that, that folds out, and then we do have the pocket. Go in there, and this one. I did have nice fun with this album. It was a challenge because it's so big, and you use literally a whole page just for the one page that goes on to your base page. So yes, this was a challenge. On the back, I just use this paper, and I've put some corners there because it is it's gonna get damaged. I think this book is a lot of people is gonna look at it, and it's gonna get damaged, the corners, and then it's not looking good. And you can see there is quite a lot happening. I don't have the closure for it. I don't think it needs a closure, but I can always do something. And then the spine is, now let me show you the front. It's big and it's heavy. This is the front. I'm going to put that in there so it can hold it up. I use my alphabet die, and I die cut all this out. I did on black first, and then I put cream cardstock, and the black is like showing it's like a shadow. This is from the paper pack that I've used, and it comes in very handy. This was also from the paper pack, and I've put it on black cardstock, and so that you can see it there, it's better. And this is flat back pearls, and it's the same color as what the corners are, so it works actually very nice. I don't know if the camera is gonna focus. Let's see. There it is, and there's the corners. What I did with the frame, I had it's chipboard, but it's not the thick chipboard. I bought this by mistake, and actually it's come in very handy at the moment when I do want to do frames. So I cut about 3 of them, and I put them together. So the frames that I've cut, that's separate, that one's separate, and this is separate, and that one is separate. and then I glue them together and cover it with black paper. And the black paper, I cover it so that you can't see there is joints or nothing. And then what I did is I took the normal chipboard and I cut a piece that I think it was an inch wide. And I put a strip over here on that side, and the top. And I glue that onto this frame. And then I put my photo. I glue my photo onto that extra chipboard. So it gives you a 3D. So the photo is not flat onto the frame. It's lifted up a little bit. It gives you that 3D. And then I glue that all onto my front chipboard. The thing is, I use score type just because there was a lot involved. I want you to, don't know if you can see. You can see it's a little bit away. There, it's a little bit away from the chipboard. And I'm just going to take this out. And I don't know if you can see on the side. Oh, maybe this way. There you can see it's a little bit away, just to give you that 3D effect. I had so much fun making this album. It was really it was a challenge, I must say, because it was big and you use a lot of paper. But it was very nice. It was fun. And I think I'm going to have more fun putting in the photos. I will get the photos all done. And then I will show you how I place my photos into an album. The thing is, I have to go and print it. And there's a lot of photos that I need to go through and sort out and see which one I am going to use in this book. And then the ones I cannot use in this book, I will do a smaller one and I will just put the photos in there. I don't want to do too much because it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot of photos, but mostly I'm going to try and see the nice photos that I have, especially from Cape Town, the mountain. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I will come back and show you what I've done with that. And I thank you so much for spending your time with me and going through all of this. And I'll see you in the next one.